Hello everyone, I am Amanda from Powerful Learning Practice and I'm talking today with Mark Carbone. So hello. Hello Mark.
Hello,
How are you?
I am great, thanks.
We have heard that last week your board received the Redefining Excellence in the Classroom Award for your Futures Forum initiative.
Yes, that was certainly a wonderful moment for our board, and it was great to be recognized along with some other of the candidates that were also won awards. And of course, as I shared earlier with Cheryl, what's very interesting for me about this is the whole Futures Forum project really started out as part of our PLP Action Research years ago. And so at this point, it's alive and well and flourished in our system and growing each year for 4 years. And it was wonderful to have it recognized in this fashion.
Oh, 4 years ago, too. That's awesome. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So maybe you can tell us a little bit about the immediate and long-term advantages of working with a group like PLP.
Well, certainly from our perspective, we've had teams involved for the last 4 years. And I think the reason is the whole approach that PLP takes to professional development really resonates with how we're trying to do our business here. So we appreciate that their approach is job embedded and that the focus of the PD is really, it's on learning and it's about the learner. And that idea really resonates with other things that are happening here in Ontario. And we also appreciate the fact that the PLP experience puts the teacher in the role of the learner. And so as people go through the program, they become, what I would call from wherever they're at now, and they become, more like the connected educator, as Cheryl would call them. That's an important transformation, I think, that happens in one's teaching development. So, the kinds of offerings through PLP really support good learning experiences, good PD, and help people along that journey.
Great. And so you worked on the Action Research Project, and is that the Future Forums initiative?
Well, our first experience with Futures Forum was 4 years ago, and along with 4 other senior people here at our education center, we went in as a team of 5 and put ourselves through the experience. And we thought, well, we need to, investigate and learn these tools. We need to be able to role model, but we also needed to learn enough to make some decisions and put some plans in place. And so when it came time for our active action research project, we really talked about some conversations that we were having with a local group called Communitech, and we were meeting with them and talking about the classroom of the future. And around that same time, we had this opportunity to participate in the Powerful Learning Practice program. And those two things kind of merged together, and sort of our discussion around the classroom of tomorrow really became an exercise in looking at what should future learners and workers have as a skill set. And so we set out to try some different things with teaching it and see what we could leverage in terms of changing classroom practice. And so we designed a whole program around, let's do it different, see what we can learn. Let's see what the research and data gathering tells us about it, and if it is a good thing with positive results, then let's keep it going. And that's certainly the way it played out.
Great, and you guys have a great video about the program, and I'm going to make sure I put the link in the video so everybody can watch that and check out what it's about.
Great.
So you've got this project and this award under your belt. Maybe tell us a little bit about the future of 21st century learning in your district. What's that going to look like? What do you guys have on plans for the horizon?
Well, we're actually, I think, in the midst of a very big transition right now. Certainly in our education center leaders groups, we're looking at a number of things, but there are some key points to our approach. Number one, we feel there's such an importance on collaborative work, number one, and that we have to role model Our approach to that here, the same way that you want it to work out in the schools, and teachers to teachers, and so on. So that's always been a part of our approach here. So, for example, I sit on our digital learning team, which is chaired by Superintendent Mark Harper. He participates on the technology steering committee that I'm responsible for chairing. And so we have IT and our learning services areas working very closely together at the strategic planning. But that's how we approach everything. We work back and forth. We try to come out of the gate with an aligned approach to things at the beginning. Certainly, another thing that we've really talked a lot about is putting the conditions for change in place. So Mark's group has really looked at teacher practice and defined what they feel is the best way that programs should be delivered to the Ontario curriculum and so on. And on my side, we've tried to approach things by putting technology standards in place from a system perspective. And by that I mean schools don't opt in and opt out of our technology standards. So when we have a replacement cycle, it's for all schools that we follow the same program. We have standards for the number of drops in each classroom. We've just finished a very large project where all schools now have Wi-Fi in every classroom.
Wow.
So that's all 120 schools. We have all of our Wi-Fi for schools is configured for people to bring their own devices. And those are just system standard. That's part of the change. And now we're in the process of really working on two fronts. We're rolling out mobile technology to all of our schools, and we're just finishing up the first phase of that. And I've put a proposal forward to do phase 2 for next year once we get through the budget process. And certainly on the digital learning side that Mark is leading, we're setting targets around meeting and moving things forward on our e-learning and blended learning programs as they're laid out by the Ontario Ministry of Education. And so that whole agenda is moving forward as well. We have a very open environment here where teachers and students can use all kinds of collaboration tools, Google Docs and blogs and wikis and so on. We're able to leverage social media tools. So Facebook is available for collaboration as an example. Staff and students can use Twitter and Google Hangouts and all of those kinds of things. So it's been really neat and fun to put those kind of conditions in place for staff to leverage as they want to take advantage of this as part of their teaching practice.
Well, that's wonderful. It sounds like you guys are really paving the way, really creating some real change. That's great to hear.
Well, thank you. That's it's been really, for me, personally gratifying to work with our team here at the Education Center and everybody in our schools to put things in place and actually start to see the results of change in our practice and how we do things. And I think a lot of that is just our approach on collaboration. That's so important to have alignment, and the goals that I support from an IT perspective are the same ones that are important from a learning perspective. One of our phrases is the idea of technology-enabled learning. It's not about the technology per se, it's about leveraging the opportunities that technology can bring to learning. How does it improve student engagement? What are the opportunities to change and improve assessment practices? How does it provide new possibilities for students? And so that's the kind of thinking that we're having both on the learning side and the IT side as we work through various steps forward. And it's been really awesome to be a part of that journey.
Well, that's great. I'm wondering if powerful learning practice was something that helped you leverage this new technology and what you're doing, and if that's something, the courses you took, if you would recommend them to others, and why.
Well, I would absolutely recommend them. In fact, as I mentioned earlier, we do have some teams in place each year in our board participating in powerful learning practice, because we do believe in the program and in the approach. And we know that the teachers that have gone through that program have influenced other teachers. They've made a difference in their schools, they've made a difference in their teaching practices and how they approach instruction. And so that fits really well hand in hand with other initiatives that are going on here in our board and in Ontario. And so that's just part of our change practice. We're very conscious of choosing strategies that help, and that helps us shift the system faster. And so by participating in programs such as PLP, that helps us meet that goal of building capacity and addressing system change.
Well, this is all great stuff, Mark. Thank you so much for talking with us today. And again, congratulations on this award. It's a big deal. You guys earned it.
Thank you very much, Amanda. It was a pleasure to speak with you.
Thank you.